Good morning. It's the 29th of July, 2026, and I'm Reg Knight. A interesting thing happened at the UN yesterday as French diplomats called out the United States for their boorish behavior of late. They actually compared the United States to other rogue nations. Yes, I said rogue. North Korea, Russia, to name a few. And of course, the United States acted like an adult, right? No, they got their briefcases and they walked out without saying anything because they have nothing to say and they have no defense. Right now, Anthony Fauci is before Capitol Hill testifying about his role in COVID, and they realize that Americans have a short memory. They remember the refrigerated trucks and people being stacked up like cordwood as they died from that dreaded disease. But now they're talking to him as if he created it. Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu is ushered into the Capitol with a hero's welcome. And he and Trump are talking about other ways to continue to cause friction and trouble in the Middle East. Before he left Israel, Netanyahu ordered the IDF to seize control of the West Bank and occupied territories. They still are in Lebanon, and they continue to bomb civilian targets that have absolutely no military value whatsoever. But these are the people who are praised in public, and people like Anthony Fauci are demonized before the public. The way I'm seeing this is that this is politically, it's a bad flu with a fever. And if anyone has ever had a fever, they realize that, just before your fever breaks, that's when you feel the worst. You get sweating and palpitations, you may have some bowel problems, but eventually that fever breaks. We're at the point now where no oil is coming out of the Middle East, and it's only a matter of time if this continues that the global economy will be depressed at the very least. Collapse is a real possibility. But all these people offer you now are illusions, lies, and distortions to cover up their massive crimes. I think it's important to note that all of this started because the heat was on Donald Trump about those pesky Epstein files. And he was willing to risk all these lives and all of this treasure and tax revenue to hide his crimes. But I'm telling you today that this fever is about to break. The world is at a breaking point. We are seeing fighting expand across the globe now. The Saudis fired at Iran. The Houthis from Yemen firing at Saudi Arabia. Iran hitting multiple targets across the Gulf region. The Russians fighting Ukraine and vice versa. Now things are starting to perk up in India with this faction group calling themselves cockroaches. All I can tell you, I don't know the time and the date, but I do know that this cannot continue in the manner that it has. The United States is wrong, dead wrong, because 7 months ago, no one had any problem going through the Strait of Hormuz. No one had any problem with oil flow. And the national average of gas was about $2.89 a gallon. Now it's anything but. So I'm telling you this is that things are brewing. They're percolating. They probably will get worse before they get better, but they will get better because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Evil has a very short shelf life. Now, the only thing that you can do right now is do whatever you can to keep mind, body, and soul together. And make sure that you get your ass out and vote this November. For all of you to say it won't make a difference, well, if you don't vote, you're absolutely right. It's the 29th of July, 2026, and I'm Reg Knight. Have a good day.